Okay, hi everybody. Today I'd like to review some asynchronous counter tips. The assignment for today is to create a 3-bit up counter, and that counter needs to count from 1 to 5. So in order to successfully do that, you're going to need to create first a 0 to 7 up counter, and then we're going to modify that. So for those of you using multisim, I'll just review with you how to get going on that, and I'll let you modify it. But you're going to place components. I did say that I wanted you using the 7476s, the JK flip-flops. And for that, I'm going to use these ones, which happen to be positive edge trigger, active low, asynchronous inputs. So I need 3, 1 for each bit, 1, 2, and 4. I'm going to need an external clock. You could also use a single pole double throw switch here if you wanted more control over it. Just power and ground the switch. And you can cycle through that way. Because these are active low asynchronous inputs, if I don't want to use the asynchronous inputs, I need to hook them to the opposite of what activates them. In this case, power. So I'm going to hook that up to there. And now we come to our first decision. What are we going to do with our J and K synchronous inputs? Well, we want to toggle those. So the best thing to do, JK has a built-in toggle function, which is 1, 1. So just make sure that each flip-flop is going to power so that they're in the toggle state. I'm going to put some probes on there. And then I kind of want to get those off of there. So I'm just going to hold down Control while selecting them and then use my keyboard arrows to move those out of the way. All right, next up, I'm going to change the net color to green, just so I can see visually quickly what's connected to power here. And then if I'm going to do an up counter, and this is positive edge, I need opposite for up. So because this is positive edge trigger, on these ones that I'm using, I'm going to come from not Q. The ones you are using might be different, but this should count 0 to 7 pretty fast. Yeah, way too fast. So we're actually going to modify the count here, or the frequency, to 1 hertz. And I see that this is a down counter, which suggests to me these are actually negative edge triggered flip-flops and somebody drew them wrong. So I'm going to go look for the actual LS series, see if I get better luck there. Yeah. The other thing you could do, if you wanted to, is just hook that into, this is actually a negative edge, even though it's not symbolized like that. Multisim messed up. But you could also just do that. That's not good practice, though, because that's going to kind of not convince you of what I need you to know, which is opposite is up. So although this will work as an up counter, what I'm going to say we should do is get rid of it. We shouldn't use these. These aren't good. They are, they're lying to you. So we're going to go in and get the LS series 7476s and then click replace. Double click, replace 74LS76 and select that. All right. So that should be the 02. Yes, 0 to 7. Now you're going to modify that. You're going to do that so that we activate these asynchronous inputs once and only once. And the logic gate for that I'm not going to tell you, but think about the low. We need to produce a low once and only once. So see if you can find a logic gate that produces a 0 once, just once, and then when is that the case is the final number you want to see for your count. Maybe. I'm not going to give you that answer either. I wouldn't expect you had too much problem when we left. Most people were getting it squared away with it stopping the count. The starting the count is going to be a little bit interesting, but don't forget that we can turn any flip-flop on by putting a 0 to the preset. So when we put a 0 to all these clears, it resets to 0. But if we didn't want it to be 0, maybe we could put a 1, or sorry, put a 0 to one of these presets, and then we could see some different numbers. So give that a shot, simulate that, and post it, and I will look for that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you.